Hello everybody, this is Aaron Kleinerman coming from beautiful Marina del Rey in California. I am the owner and creator at lifebeyondcomfort.com, where people are actively choosing a life beyond comfort to awaken their inner genius. So let's talk for a minute this morning about our projections and how we see and observe the world around us and what that has to do with awakening your inner genius. So I want to share for a minute a dream that happened to me quite a few years ago that had a revolutionary space on how I observed the world around me. In this dream, I awoke and I saw and I see everything around me, and all it is this theater show. It's this theater show of all of my own inner projections. All the people around me are all of the things inside of me that I'm unsure of, all the things that I don't quite understand about how I'm showing up in the world. And in this dream, I happened to be in a country where no one spoke any English. And granted, I had been in many places in my life where this was the case. This was often the case when I was traveling, when I was out there in the world. So in this particular dream, it scared the bejesus out of me, because in this space, I woke and I realized that everything that I was unsure of, all the fears, everything that was going on in my mind was being projected out and being displayed back by all these characters. Now I'm sure many of you can relate to this, that as we walk about in the world, there's a lot of people that show up as characters in our life that are there to teach us, to allow us to evolve, to grow. So in this particular dream for me, all of my projections of the fear of not being enough, of being afraid, of stepping into something bigger, was smaller. It was smaller than I ever thought possible, and that's what made it magnificent. That's what made it so big, to step into something bigger than myself. And by doing that, I individually looked at all of the different characteristics that were showing up, that was in the projections from me to these people. That's all really everybody is around us, is they show up as the opportunities for us to learn, to grow, to evolve into something bigger. This might sound a little bit far-fetched, not quite clear, but look at the people around you right now and see, well, how are they observing me? How am I being observed by them in the world? And that's going to give you great insight into how it is that you can show up even more effectively in all of your communication. And see, for me, when I had this dream, it terrified me. It terrified me because it literally, I shrank in my sleep, and I shrank to a very small space of almost infant-like potential within me. But then as I looked at all the different projections that had showed up in this dream, and I started to realize that I had a massive opportunity for self-growth, for looking at it and having a space of compassionate self-forgiveness for all of these misunderstandings that were being displayed by the different people out there in the world, and then I could reflect back on that and then choose. Again, we're actively choosing to look at that. We're not just sinking into our default life. We're actively choosing to look at how we're showing up like that, and then allowing that to be our truth, allowing that projection, allowing that observation, that judgment to then go inside and do our inner work. And that might be a little bit challenging for some, because I'm sure many of you might have dreams, might have opportunities that come up in your life that can change how it is that you're seeing the world around you. But this single specific trait of just utilizing the world as your teacher, the world as your school, that everybody that comes in, if you have any emotional, any kind of thing that startles you, that shows up as not of the highest good, then go inside. Choose the life that's beyond the comfort of just being okay with it. Don't just be okay with it, thrive with it, and be okay in the mud. Be okay and choose to actively arise beyond that which is just at your comfort level. Choose to look at it boldly and effectively through the eyes of love, God, and compassion. Hope some of this made sense for you. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or you're not sure. Again, this is Aaron Kleinerman, lifebeyondcomfort.com. Aloha, namaste.